Countries born at the epicenter of the modern world, and medieval combined the cultures of Europe and Asia.
It has been such a powerful city.
With a metropolis at the crossroads of world history.
I see the Bosphorus and the open which backwards flow north or south.
The Invention of Turkey with me, Misha Glenny, starts on Friday morning at 11 on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
BBC News at the top on Sunday, the 22nd of October. This is James Steele. Good morning. Israel says it is intensifying its bombardment of Gaza in preparation for the next stage of its operation to eliminate Hamas. Tanks and troops have been building up on the bottom of the Palestinian territory ahead of an expected ground incursion. At a news conference where Admiral Daniel Hagari of the Israeli Defense Forces urged people in Gaza to head south.
We'll deepen our strikes, minimise the risks to our forces in the next stages of the war, and we're going to increase the attacks from today. We'll increase the attacks, and therefore I called on Gaza City residents specifically to continue moving south for their safety.
The United Nations says it hopes a second convoy of aid will be allowed into Gaza today, represented yesterday by a crossing from Egypt for the first time since the offensive began. Rishi Sunak has spoken of the danger of what he calls a contagion of conflict in the Middle East because of the war between Israel and Hamas. He has just returned from a trip to the region and says the overwhelming view of those he met was that everything possible must be done to prevent the conflict spreading. Is our political correspondent Helen.
Rishi Sunak said he'd made the trip to show that the UK stood in solidarity with the region against terrorism. Mr Sunak has also written for the Sunday Telegraph. He welcomes reopening some of the crossing to allow aid to enter and calls for a stream of trucks to come rolling through. He also says the government is working intensively with international partners to allow trapped British nationals to use it to leave Gaza. The Foreign Secretary James Connolly told the Sunday Times that the government would only call British nationals forward when it was confident there would be a long enough period for them to credibly safely leave Gaza, and it was not yet in that position.
The Steel Arms Agency is warning that flooding in parts of Derbyshire could cause move tonight. The effects of storm threat continue to be felt. There's also a severe flood warning in Powys and scores of other alerts across Britain. Further disruption to travel is expected today. More details from Britain.
The Environment Agency has issued 3 severe flood warnings, meaning there is a danger to life around the River Derwent in Derbyshire. One severe warning is in place in Wales on the River Severn in the Llangollen area. 3 people have died since the storm hit the UK on Thursday. Police in Aberdeenshire continue to search for a man believed to be trapped in a vehicle in floodwater. Disruption to the rail network is expected to continue today, affecting services in parts of Scotland, as well as in Yorkshire, East Anglia and the East Midlands.
The people of Argentina will go to the polls today to elect a new president and legislators as the country goes through its worst economic crisis in 2 decades. The frontrunner is Javier Milei, a far-right economist who's been compared to Donald Trump. Our South America correspondent Katie Watson reports from the capital, Buenos Aires.
Argentina's leading politician is a man with wild hair, big sideburns, and an even bigger desire to radically change a country teetering on the edge of economic collapse. At one campaign event, Javier Milei brandished a chainsaw, saying he'd slash costs to ease the economy. He also wants to blow up the central bank and introduce the dollar as the official currency. With inflation running at well over 100%, their promises would have lots of support. Up against him is the Peronist Economy Minister, Sergio Massa, and the former Conservative Security Minister, Patricia Bullrich. 2 big hitters from Argentina's traditional political coalition.
Plenty Manchester United will open a book of condolence at Old Trafford later this morning following the death of Sir Bobby Charlton. The club described Sir Bobby, who was 86, as one of the most beloved players in its history. During his 17-year career there, he won 3 league titles, a European Cup and an FA Cup. He was also a key figure in England's 1966 World Cup victory. South Africa are through to next weekend's final of the Rugby Union World Cup after coming from behind to inflict an agonising 16-15 defeat on England in Paris. The Springboks scored the winning penalty in the final moments of the match. England's head coach, Steve Borthwick, said he was disappointed but immensely proud.
We thought we were going to win tonight. The game came to the stadium and I believe we were going to win the game, and we came very close to it. I think the players deserve enormous credit for that, and I think all the tens of thousands of England supporters in the stadium tonight, the millions watching, listening back home, I think they'll be very proud of their team.
South Africa will play New Zealand next Saturday. BBC News.
Our thanks to Jane Steele. This is BBC Radio 4. Charlotte Smith and Lucy Speed are judging farming for the future category of the BBC Food and Farming Awards. And on today's On Your Farm, visit the last of the 3 finalists. On Your Farm is coming in half an hour.